Hello.
Hello. Right, all good. Let's go. Where are we going? Links?
Links.
Ooh.
There's fucking millions of bikes.
It is the season of bikes and the place of bikes, in fairness.
Oh, here's the first one.
Switchback time. No, this isn't really a switchback, is it? It's just a mad yoke.
It's a switchback, alright. It's a switchback that trucks can use as well. Fucking hell, truck nearly. Easy at these fucking roads. Fucking hell. Oh, snap. Snap. We've all got 1290 eventually.
Oh, 1290s. That was a GT in the
yeah.
background. Ah, yeah, this is the thing.
Do you remember the first time we went up that fucking pass, man? The second day we were there, we were like,
pissing down.
Look at this, look at this, like.
Yeah, and then the fucking whole rest of the week was like that. And you're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Doing this all the way.
Yeah, seen it. I know Fabia. Sitting behind there. So we played a travel game.
What's the travel game?
It's where if you're going on a big road trip and you're stuck behind a car, you just put the word anal before the model name of the car.
Tell me this game.
Yeah.
You told me this game the last time we were traveling.
You try and find the best one.
I've got an anal TFSI in front of me.
Yeah. No, I mean like the model number is it like is it anal Octavia? Is it
An anal A4.
anal A4? See, all these aren't great. What you want is a fucking a proper anal discovery, or anal sportage isn't bad.
You want there's an old intruder in front of you.
Yeah. Or the mysterious ones like anal Sorrento. Like, what even is it?
Defo photo up the top here, man.
Alright, here's your commentary for this day. So this was the first proper day on the road, as I said yesterday. Couple of things to cover, and I'm going to do some questions as well. First of all, the audio quality here isn't great, so I'm going to be doing a bit of these commentaries rather than relying on you being able to make out what I'm saying or what Graham is saying, just due to hit and miss mic placement in the camera and it not being great, but there you go. At some point I'm going to redo the camera setup, but it's probably not until I get a new lid, so that will be for another year or two, I'd say. Anyway, what you're looking at right now is the Imst Alpine Coaster, which is essentially probably how the ski slopes make money on their off season, which is there's a roller coaster and you can go down, go up in the ski lift and go down. So we meant to do more touristy stuff actually. It ended up just being bikes most of the days, just because bikes are class. And you know, the scenery that you'll see is just class. And later on there was a couple of instances where we literally just like, we need to get to this place by Wednesday, you know, like the ferry or something, so we need to put the boot down, so to speak. So mostly bikes with a few bits off the bikes. As you'll see in the video as well, in this one, Italians are mad cunts, like just fucking, you know, overtaking out of roundabouts and just going between lines of cars, going in opposite directions, that kind of shit. Like, I'll tell you something, driving stereotypes are real. I'd driven in Italy before, but this was something else, like on the back roads with bikers. It's unbelievable. So there were other driving stereotypes, we'll cover those later on. Anyway, I wanted to say as well, if you want to ask questions about the trip or etc., I know like I'm not the only person to have ever gone on a trip, but this was the kind of trip where we basically planned it ourselves, didn't buy any apart from getting the bike shipped, didn't buy any packages, didn't buy any sort of guided tours, anything like that. So please do ask comments, as people have done already, so I'm going to cover those now. What would Grant do? So how do you plan and where do you stop? So Google Maps, short version, and I might throw up some screenshots of like the bits that we've done. So we plan basically with Google Maps and with a spreadsheet of like we knew roughly the loop we wanted to do, and so we budget an amount of time, and then we budget distance for each day, and then we look at sort of largish population centres and things that we want to see. So if you know you're going from Germany down to southern Italy, you can map out the 4 or 5 days that's going to take in your spreadsheet. Basically say here's where we start, here's where we stop roughly, and then the rough town we want to stop and start in, subject to change. I think if you go figuring out, trying to figure out everything in advance, it's just going to piss you off when it doesn't work out that way. And we had a couple of instances where it was just like, yeah, we're not making it there today, we'll do that tomorrow, and we'll do a rest day later, and we'll jigger it around. And I can imagine this getting pretty pissy if there's like 4 or 5 lads and differences of opinion. Thankfully, despite the amount of moaning on video, myself and Graham were able to sort of agree on like, here's what we're doing, and plans change, and it's no big deal. So do plan to go for 3 or 4 days and then take a rest day. Rest days are important, or you go fucking bananas. So just book 2 nights in a place. Booking places, we booked nothing in advance. Basically, we didn't even book the hotel for the first night. We just got out and looked and said where we headed towards. Got out the phone. Hotels.com I used. Trivago I think Graham used as well. Other stuff like that. You can book stuff same day. Like if it's not completely high season, which this wasn't, you can book stuff same day. Even like backwater places are gonna have you sorted with bookings. Like people are, especially out in the main continent, like people are just going to be set up with all this stuff, because why wouldn't they be? So we would go and stop for lunch and sort ourselves out and say, okay, where are we headed to today? Budget a couple 100 kilometers, book a place, say, right, we're heading there. So that's, and we just, once we're going in roughly the right direction and we budgeted out, there was a time later on where we sort of said, oh yeah, we need to actually boot it tomorrow. And that's what happened in southern Italy, but we'll get to that. So that's kind of how we planned it, which is that we did it very roughly, and then we just played it by ear when we got there, and that's very, very doable in mainland Europe. It's very, you don't need to plan more. You don't even need to plan a day in advance once you're going in roughly the right direction. When it gets to like ferries and stuff, yeah, I mean, you do need to plan for a ferry. The ferry we got later on only runs every 2 or 3 days, so we did need to go to that, but certainly you don't need to be too exact. So anyway, there's other questions, I'll get to them. There's more videos to do, and yeah, that's it for today. There's a little bit more footage from this day. We basically went from Ruja down to close to Lake Garda. Obviously we didn't aim for fucking peak tourist Lake Garda, like we stayed somewhere nearby. So I took notes, but I can't find them. I don't even remember where we stayed. So there you have it. Alright, see you next time. Cheers. There's ourselves. Fucking hell. Oh no, the brakes. Oh, it's not worth putting the brakes on me. And don't come fucking crashing in here, you prick. Slowly.
That was absolutely crap.
That's cracking, man.
Oh. You're awfully right behind him.
He's like,
right.
Look at slow one. Like.
You ready for your pizza tonight, eh?
I fucking, that's an excellent point, actually, we're in Italy now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta do the thing.
It's like, you know, what's this pizza? €3. But it's gonna be the best pizza you ever had in your life.
Yeah.
Why?
And
Because
it comes over, it's like, is that amazing? Or can I make it a little more amazing for you? Like, I'm like,
give us 3 of them.
give us like beers. And it's like, oh yeah, oh, jeez. Naturally. Your man last night was like, look at these two knackers. What do you want, lads? Beers, yeah?
Yeah, he fucking knew straight away. Made me skinhead, like, he was like,
Yeah, sitting outside, yeah.
They're not coming in.
The whole of the inside was just one party,
fuck.
I think.
Yeah, we're in Italy. We're in
Yeah.
Italy.
Yes, the roads are shite.
They're not shite, they're just not
It's not
great.
as amazing.
There's a lot of bikes there, man.
Yeah. But it said fucking Motorrad Cafe. That's a mad fucking church, isn't it?
Yeah. It's underwater.
Yeah.
I wonder they do scuba things so you can dive down to the
That'd
old.
be class, yeah. Loads of places to be.
Fucking no fucking protective gear on at all. Just a lid. That's arses, man. Do you want to go into that pizza restaurant there on the right?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Just park in that spot there in Donut. I'm going to let you choose. I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's your life.
That's right.